Welcome to the world of mystery and the unexplained. In today's video, we'll dive deep into two of history's most chilling disappearances, events that have left us with more questions than answers. First, we'll unravel the eerie mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke, where an entire settlement vanished without a trace, leaving only a single word behind. Then, we'll soar into the skies to investigate the vanishing of Flight 19, a squadron of Navy bombers that mysteriously disappeared over the Bermuda Triangle, taking its crew and planes with it, and leaving nothing but endless ocean. Are these stories simply tragic accidents, or is something far stranger at play? Let's find out together. Story 1. The Vanishing of Roanoke, the Mystery of the Lost Colony. Imagine stepping onto an island expecting to be greeted by friends and family, only to find silence. No voices, no laughter, just an empty village, homes abandoned, as if the people inside had simply vanished into thin air. That's exactly what John White faced in 1590 when he returned to Roanoke Island. 3 years earlier, he had left behind over 100 men, women, and children, including his own daughter and infant granddaughter, to establish a new English colony in the New World. But now, they were gone, no bodies, no signs of struggle. Just a single cryptic message carved into a wooden post. Croatoan, Croatoan. No one has ever figured out what happened to them. No remains were ever found. No records, no final letters, no graves. Just silence. A colony wiped from existence, leaving behind nothing but questions. So, what really happened to the settlers of Roanoke? To understand the mystery, we have to go back to 1587. England was desperate to establish a permanent colony in the Americas. Queen Elizabeth I had granted explorer Sir Walter Raleigh a charter to claim land on behalf of the Crown. His first attempt, in 1585, had failed. Harsh weather, food shortages, and conflicts with local tribes forced the settlers to abandon the colony. But Raleigh wasn't ready to give up. In 1587, he sent a second group of settlers, this time including families, led by John White. They arrived on Roanoke Island with high hopes of building a new life. But almost immediately, things started going wrong. Tensions with the Native American tribes were high. Supplies were running dangerously low. White had no choice. He had to return to England for reinforcements. He promised the settlers he would be back quickly. But when he arrived home, England was at war with Spain. Every available ship was being used to fight the Spanish Armada. White couldn't return for 3 years. When he finally stepped foot on Roanoke again in 1590, the colony was gone. The settlement was eerily intact, houses still standing, no signs of chaos. But the people had vanished. The only clue was the word Croatoan. White took it as a sign that the settlers had relocated to nearby Croatoan Island, home to a Native American tribe that had been friendly toward the English. But before he could investigate, a powerful storm forced his ship to retreat. He never made it back to search for them, and just like that, the fate of the lost colony slipped into history, swallowed by time. Over the centuries, countless theories have emerged, each more compelling than the last. One of the most widely accepted ideas is that the settlers joined the Croatoan tribe. It makes sense. Starving and cut off from England, they may have sought refuge with the only people who could help them. Later accounts from European explorers describe Native American tribes with strikingly European features. Blonde hair, blue eyes, suggesting intermarriage. But if the settlers had survived, why was no definitive proof ever found? Then there's the attack theory. Some historians believe the settlers were wiped out by a more hostile tribe, possibly the Powhatan. According to later reports, the Powhatan chief claimed his warriors had killed the Roanoke settlers, but no evidence, no remains, no weapons, no ruins was ever discovered. If they had been massacred, why was the village left untouched? Another theory? They tried to sail home. Some believe the settlers, desperate and without hope, built boats and attempted to make their way back to England or another colony. But if that were true, where are the shipwrecks? Where are the records of their arrival anywhere else? It's as if they simply vanished into the sea. Of course, some theories step beyond history and into the realm of the bizarre, the supernatural. Over the years, stories have surfaced of strange lights, ghostly whispers, and eerie encounters near Roanoke Island. Some believe the colony was wiped out by a force beyond human comprehension. Perhaps an ancient curse, a mysterious disease, or something even more unexplainable. Others have gone even further, claiming that the settlers were abducted, not by another tribe, but by something not of this world. As wild as those ideas might seem, one thing is undeniable. No concrete evidence has ever been found. No bodies, no letters, no wreckage, just an empty village and a single word carved into a post. Over 400 years later, the mystery of Roanoke still haunts us. Maybe it's because the idea of an entire community disappearing without a trace taps into something deep within us, our fear of the unknown. The thought that people just like us, with hopes and dreams, could simply vanish is unsettling. Imagine John White, standing in the ruins of a colony that should have been thriving, staring at that single word, Croatoan, his daughter, his granddaughter, gone, the silence around him offering no answers. So, what do you think happened? Were they absorbed into the Croatoan tribe? Were they attacked? Did they meet a tragic fate at sea? Or is their disappearance something far stranger than we can imagine? One thing is certain. Until new evidence is uncovered, the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke will remain one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Story 2. The Vanishing of Flight 19, Mystery over the Bermuda Triangle. On December 5, 1945, 5 Navy bombers known as Flight 19 took off on a routine training mission from Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale. The mission was simple: head east over the ocean, then turn north and return to base. The squadron, led by Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was composed of experienced pilots, and the weather was clear with calm seas below. But what was supposed to be a standard mission quickly turned into one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. As the planes flew farther from shore, something went terribly wrong. Lieutenant Taylor began to report that his compass was malfunctioning and that he could no longer determine the correct direction. Despite his expertise, he and the crew became increasingly disoriented, believing they were flying over the Gulf of Mexico, when, in reality, they had veered far off course, heading over the featureless Atlantic Ocean. As the hours passed, communication between Taylor and the control tower became more frantic. The planes were running low on fuel, and no one could figure out where they were or how to get back to base. The tower advised them to head west, but nothing seemed to work. Taylor and his crew were lost in a seemingly endless sea. Then, just as mysteriously as it all began, communication with Flight 19 was cut off. The planes vanished from radar, and no distress signal was ever received. Despite search and rescue efforts, the bombers and their crew were never found. To make matters even more baffling, a massive air and sea search was launched, but no wreckage, no bodies, not a single trace of the planes was discovered. It was as though Flight 19 had vanished into thin air. But what happened? How could 5 planes, with experienced pilots and clear weather, simply disappear without a trace? One of the most popular theories is that the squadron got lost due to navigational errors. During the 1940s, navigation equipment was much less advanced, and in the featureless landscape of the ocean, it would have been easy for the pilots to become disoriented. Taylor's reports of compass malfunctions could have been due to a technical failure, combined with the challenge of visual navigation over the open ocean. Another theory suggests that the planes may have encountered some kind of environmental anomaly. The Bermuda Triangle is infamous for mysterious disappearances, and some believe that magnetic anomalies in the area could have interfered with the plane's navigation systems, leading them off course and eventually causing them to crash. But things take a darker turn when we consider the supernatural theories. Some believe that Flight 19 was another casualty of the Bermuda Triangle's sinister reputation, an area notorious for the unexplained disappearances of ships, planes, and even entire crews. Could something beyond human understanding have been at play? Some speculate that Flight 19 was sucked into a vortex, or possibly even abducted by an unknown force. But with no wreckage ever found, there's no evidence to confirm any of these theories. Adding even more mystery to the case is the fate of a rescue plane that was sent to search for the lost squadron. The rescue plane, a Martin Mariner, took off with a crew of 13 men and was also lost during the search. This plane too vanished without a trace, and the search for it would prove equally fruitless. Could this strange pattern of disappearances be a coincidence? Or is there something more sinister going on? Over the years, the disappearance of Flight 19 has been the subject of countless investigations, documentaries, and theories. Some say it's a tragic case of navigational error and bad luck. Others believe the Bermuda Triangle holds a more frightening secret. And then there are those who argue that Flight 19 is just one of many unexplained disappearances in a region steeped in mystery. So, what do you think happened to Flight 19? Was it a navigational error that led them astray? Could the Bermuda Triangle have been responsible for their disappearance? Or was there something more strange and unexplainable at play? The truth remains as elusive as the squadron itself. One thing is certain. Flight 19 and its crew will forever remain a part of the Bermuda Triangle's haunting legacy, lost to the ocean, with only questions left behind. As we've seen, both the lost colony of Roanoke and the disappearance of Flight 19 continue to haunt us, their mysteries unsolved, leaving us to wonder if we'll ever uncover the truth. Were the settlers absorbed by the Croatoan tribe, or did something far more bizarre cause their vanishing? And what really happened to the brave men of Flight 19? Was it a navigational error, or is the Bermuda Triangle hiding something darker? These stories remind us that there are still many unknowns in the world, and some mysteries may never be solved, but that's what keeps us searching, questioning, and wondering. What do you think happened? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories like these. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update. There's so much more to uncover in the world of conspiracy theories and urban legends. Thanks for watching and stay curious.